for, I got a party now.
I don't know if I would have been walking this year though, but.
Good evening. It is now 6:05 and I'm going to call to order the regularly scheduled school committee meeting of June 6, 2022. At this time, if anyone is video or audio recording, please let us know. There's no one in attendance here. And it doesn't look like there's anyone online at this moment.
You're
Yeah,
done.
can we see the screen, Don? I'm gonna mute this because I had volume coming in. There we go. Thank you. Don? Doesn't want to play nice.
All right.
There's no one there. Just-
Yeah.
All right, let's keep.
All right, it doesn't.
No, I didn't turn it on before.
Oh. You turned it on, you didn't plug it in.
Whoops.
I bell the whistles, I heard a little bell go off.
That was Antonella's watch.
That I don't know how to turn off.
Yep.
There we
Thank you,
are.
Don.
Here we are.
So we'll stand now for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
for all. All right, we'll start with a roll call. Pam, you want to start us tonight?
Sure.
Pamela Blair, Assistant Superintendent for Business.
Elizabeth Marcian Boucher.
Bill Fonseca.
Sarah Trulio.
Gordon Smith, Superintendent of Schools.
Antonella Rochella.
Gregory Thompson.
Kathy Saletti, Recording Secretary.
Thank you, everybody. We have some minutes for approval.
Move to approve the May 23rd, 2022 regular session meeting minutes.
Motion made by Bill. Second. Second by Antonella. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. And that motion carries 5-0. Thank you. Committee and subcommittee communications. Why don't we start on the opposite? Greg, you want to start?
Sure. Graduation was fantastic. What a nice night. I thank the chair for allowing me to present diplomas for my daughter and her friends, many of whom I watched grow up, and it was a pleasure to be part of it. So I thank you, and I thank you all for letting me do that. It was a great night. And along that same note, lacrosse is doing well. The girls lacrosse team went to the Western Mass Finals, which they won in overtime, and they're playing states on Wednesday. So that's very exciting too. Thank you.
Tremendous. That's exciting. Antonella?
eLeaf is having its 4th annual bartending event, celebrity bartending event.
Bringing it back.
Yeah, it's
I didn't get my
at,
invite yet. What's my schedule?
it's Tuesday, June 21st at 5 p.m. at Torito Mexican Restaurant. So it's at that new,
The new one, yeah.
yeah, where the Meadows used to
Yeah.
be.
Little Meadows.
Yeah.
Is there a bar in there? Must be.
I haven't been in
Haven't
there.
been.
There's gotta be a bar.
There used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't
Or
know.
was it in the front? But the bar must be in the back because the bar's not where it used to be.
At 5 p.m. Yeah, I've never
On the
been in there,
21st?
so, yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's nice. Nice that they're supporting a newer business in town too.
Yeah.
It's great to see them.
I know. So,
Awesome.
yep.
I was mentioning that I was able to get out to one of the local book fairs, so it was great to see students at Mountain View purchasing books and also seeing the PTOs being so active and helping kids not only to get access to texts, but also supporting the buildings and being able to raise funds. So that's exciting to see.
Okay, again, to reiterate Greg's point, congratulations to all the graduates. It was a great night. Weather held off. It was beautiful. And I have one student of the month from Career Tech over in West Springfield. She is Savannah Bissonette for early education and Care One. Congratulations to her.
I'm just gonna say that I did see Nick all dressed up for the prom. He was very dapper. He had an emerald green belly tone. So he looked great. He really was. So.
Very joyous time. So it's great to hear such great things about the sporting events, such great things about prom and graduation. So much to celebrate as this academic year starts to come to a close. It's now the opportunity for visitors to address the committee. As I mentioned before, there's nobody in attendance at central office, and I still am not seeing anyone online. So, that being said, we'll move forward to the MIAA waiver for girls cross-country.
Okay. Mr. McGee could not be with us tonight. He's actually at, I believe we're hosting a tennis match, part of the playoffs. So he is out at that. And what he is asking is for support of putting in an 8th grade MIAA waiver for girls cross country. He has the support of the principals, both high school and middle. And right now, he's looking at 8 runners potentially who have signed up, 9 through 12, for cross country. This is for the girls team. The boys team has over 20 participants, and MIA suggests that you put in a waiver if you have less than 10. There's always a good chance cross-country does grow in the fall when other sports make their cuts. Sometimes people decide, or even actually before people make their cuts, students decide to try cross-country. It's not necessarily something that they've grown up doing, but many, once they get into it, grow to love it.
Be interesting to see how that shifts, because there's so many, like Maple Shade and Mountain View both run Girls on the Run now.
Yeah.
And then,
See if that starts to.
yeah,
That
and
builds it up.
413 partnered with the rec department, and they're running a 3 to 5 and then a 6 to 8 youth running program this summer.
That's
Or actually this
excellent.
fall, so maybe that'll
if we
start
can
to
start
spur.
to change that, yeah.
Yeah.
Use that as feeders.
Interesting.
Is there anything that we do to try and recruit more athletes? Like, I don't know, a fair or something?
We've never done a fair, but we obviously discuss with the 8th grade class, what high school looks like and start to talk about that.
So there's someone like goes and visits 8th grade and
Well, they have
goes
step
through
up day where
things,
they come to the high school
Okay,
and get an idea of what it's like, on any given day at the high school, and then discuss opportunities, whether they, be both academically, co-curricularly, and athletically.
is there anything, or we might want to think about trying to do something to try to recruit even the 10th and 11th and 12th graders too? I don't know if there's something that we could do at the end of the year or
Do they-
something, like
Gordon,
information booths or.
And then just drum up support.
Do
for
they
that.
still have the sports nights like they used to years ago where parents show up?
Every
and-
season they have,
Yeah.
they have the fall sports night,
Yeah.
the winter sports night, and then the spring.
And that's
sports night.
advertising it too. Because you actually can meet with the coaches after that, when that thing breaks up, they go into classrooms and you
They're all
can,
interested, and so
all interested.
8th graders who are interested are invited to that night.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they did.
Why? I'm just
Well, it's
curious
because
as to why.
Because of COVID,
There is
yeah.
some-
But I think we're gonna get back
They
to,
would have had it online, but I think.
You know what I'm
if they
talking
haven't
about.
done- Yeah, no, I know.
yeah,
If they haven't done it, then it's upcoming.
right. But I think there's different avenues to get the word out there.
In person's always better.
Well, that's why I asked
Online,
about
you're
it.
like,
Right.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Right, I just want to make sure that we are trying.
Put signs up around the,
Increase-
put signs up around the building for,
Yeah, just
something.
because I feel like the more participation you do get into these sports, I mean, it does something to your culture and climate of the
Oh, sure.
building.
It's all part of education.
Yeah, school spirit.
I mean,
I
one of the
mean,
things that you could do is they do a fall extracurricular fair, if you will,
Mhm.
but maybe they start a spring one as well.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I can
Something to
certainly
think about.
talk to the high school about.
I think sometimes too, you find like the sports that cut, like, I don't know, is it fall soccer for girls or is it, like they don't make that
Field hockey,
sometimes.
yeah, field hockey,
Is it
Yeah.
soccer.
in soccer, sometimes they'll move over, but
They go,
I think it's good, anyways, just to, especially something like cross country, I get worried when it's things like wrestling and stuff like that, and it's more hands-on.
yeah, this
but
is just running.
Right.
Yeah.
I know, but I wish that there were more
I think this is-
participants in
Yeah.
that.
I think this is a safety net so that he's got the option.
Yeah.
I feel confident that, to Beth's point, kids are gonna get cut, they still wanna stay active. Go run around for a while.
I know Coach Bud, if he sees you wanna be here, you don't
Yeah.
wanna be there.
Yeah.
Come on, for
Is
at
he-
least track.
Is he retiring?
He said, I heard rumors.
Yeah, because I heard the same thing. Okay.
All right, so we're looking to approve the waiver for 8th grade participants for girls cross country.
I move to approve the waiver for the 8th grade MIAA girl cross country for the fall of 2022.
Motion made by Beth. Second by Antonella. Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. And that motion carries 5-0. All right, so we're moving into your self-evaluation for the purposes of your summative review, Mr.
Yes.
Smith?
So in your packets, I've given you an updated self-evaluation building on what I provided you at the mid-cycle. What I also will build will be those in the shared folder, the folders containing evidence connected to each standard. I won't read through all of this because it's multiple pages, but just to give you some highlights, obviously, this has been a year that has, in many cases, unexpected challenges and challenges that we knew about. But even with all of that, I think it's been a very productive year. Just to think first and foremost, and I'd said this prior to the meeting, but we'll have more information on it, more specific information on it at our end of the year presentation. But we're seeing in our assessments, although they're not 100% completed, that we are seeing good growth across all grade levels. And so that's exciting for our end of the year assessments. We also achieved 2 curriculum initiatives where we've purchased materials, in one case K-8 and in the other case really K-12, because in math we had the high school also math department select new curricular materials, and so we'll be starting to implement those next year. But just getting to that point, as you know, because Mrs. Brown presented last week, that was quite a feat to bring that many grade levels in 2 curricular areas to this point. And so that was impressive. And I think it's going to pay dividends as we go forward. Our work with the Center for Leadership in Educational Equity has continued, as you know, and we're going to see the results of that work. We've already seen some results, but the big push this year has been around meeting with them 10 times with our leadership team, members of our Diversity and Equity and Inclusion Steering Committee, some members, not the entire committee, and some students, looking at throughout the year all aspects of our recruitment, which had not been really a focal point of the district prior to, say, this year for personnel. The actual posting and hiring process itself, and then what we do to retain personnel as they come on board, with the idea that we're looking for highly qualified candidates and we'd like to diversify our staff in all areas, teaching, paraprofessionals, all staff across the board. And so we're making good headway there, and our final meeting of those 10 meetings actually is this week. And so we'll start to implement things as early as Friday, and some of the larger items that we'll establish, we'll have to start to implement over the summer and the fall. Another big highlight that as you go through the different areas is our movement within the feasibility study. So much of it has been structured by the MSBA, but within those structures, we've hired an owner project manager, and that's Skanska USA. We've hired a design firm, Jones Whitsitt Architects, in association with Sims Maney and McKee Architects. Those processes on paper really don't do justice to the amount of time that it takes to move through, as some of you know, having participated in the process of going through all the proposals, say, for owner project managers, and then going through the actual interviews and selection. Again, a lot of that's structured by the MSBA. And then the design firm selection process was even more structured and more public as we were meeting directly with the MSBA and 13 of their panel members, 3 of our folks in that process, making the decision. So that's a huge step forward, and you'll hear this more specifically in the next agenda item, but in the month of June, now that we have that design firm on board, we're looking to have 3 visioning workshops for what they're calling the educational leadership team, and 1 large community visioning workshop. The community visioning workshop is the one that will come up in the next agenda item, but that's happening hopefully on June 15th, right here at the high school. I'll give you more information on that in a moment. And then finally, when you're looking at just how we continue to work with all of our staff, we finalized 3 contracts this year. We've had a contract that came through the summer and was finalized in the fall, and that was our contract with food services. And then we've worked successfully with creating a new contract and approving a new contract with our custodians. And hopefully tonight, we're looking to finalize a new contract for our secretarial group. So all of that, I look at as great accomplishments to kind of move the district forward in many different areas. There are more in here, and I'm happy to sit down with anybody over the next 2 weeks who would like to go through things in more detail.
I'm usually pretty stingy with my exemplaries, but I think that management and operations, that's kind of, might have made it in my mind. I don't know. Just saying.
Bar is high.
So there will be folders and everything by.
Hopefully, by the end of the week or starting next week, I'll have the folders populated into the shared folder.
Okay.
And if anybody wants to meet with me, we can set a time that's convenient. I'm happy to be before the workday, after the workday, whatever works for everyone, or the individual.
Okay,
Sounds good.
Thank you for compiling
Thank you.
this. It will help us to complete some of the evaluation. Thank you, Dennis. We don't need to approve this because this is for our purposes. Okay, thank you.
Not yet.
Not yet, that's right.
Next time.
All right, thank you for that. And now on to some more exciting things. Our visioning. This is exciting.
This is really exciting. So this is something that I had mentioned as I was talking about the self-evaluation. And I think Mr. Mackey is going to throw up a slide in a moment. Right now, zooming in on me, which is really nice. However, what's that?
You're talking.
I appreciate that. I
It's not
thought I was
Matchy
going to be
anymore, it's that
explaining.
magic eyeball.
I was
It just follows
explaining
you.
explaining the slide, but I'll explain first. So, as I said, we are working with a design firm, Jones Whitsitt Architects, and they're working in association with Sims, Maney, and McKee Architects. They have already been on site and working and meeting with our high school staff to get as much information as possible regarding how we utilize this building, what restraints and challenges this building presents, and what they would like to do is, and have scheduled, a visioning workshop for the community where here at the high school from 6 to 8 p.m. on June 15th, in person, although we will have a Zoom link in case you can't join us in person, we would like to invite everyone from the community who has an interest in this high school comprehensive project to come in, learn more about what the Mass School Building Authority process is, what the feasibility study process is, and what during the feasibility study we will be doing in terms of collecting information and putting together pieces and really very specific plans for potential projects here at East Long Meadow High School.
Will this be in the auditorium? I'm sorry.
This will be in the auditorium, yes. We'd like to have is, the auditorium holds 800 or more folks. We'd love to have a full auditorium on this. And,
We had 20 people.
I'm sorry.
Really?
What I would like to say is anybody who maybe has already seen the presentation that was done by the design firm, the architects to the ELHS School Building Committee, because it's LCAT, thank you, Mr. Mackey, filmed that and it's already been posted. One of the things we have to keep in mind is the ideas that have started to float out there in that presentation are very, very much preliminary. They're simply ideas, and they came from these architects during their interview. They were put together for their interview process. They know now that now is when these start to shift, and we take what does the community need and want into account so that these plans can change to match what the community needs and wants for a building that's going to take us far into the future. And so that's what June 15th from 6 to 8 p.m. is all about. And I know that LCAT's going to be presenting this in a number of places. I believe that Mr. Quimby has put this up on the town webpage, also as an event on the town Facebook page. And
I've seen it on there.
and we'll continue to get this message out. We'll send it out to our PTOs and so forth so that
Do we know directly to families too somehow?
Yeah, do we have parent
I can send,
emails?
I can send this out. Yeah.
Because maybe
Blackboard
sending
Connect.
it to
Yep,
them.
I
It's
definitely will.
district-wide,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep, I'll do
Now,
that.
we have the point where we're not allowed as
And not 5:15, but I'll send it out.
a board to really like push people coming to this stuff. It's more for the vote, right? But can we
You
be like,
this
hey, like,
is-
can I
this
put
is
it on
an
my
invi- this-
Facebook?
This is an invitation.
Yeah.
This is strictly an
It's
invitation because
information.
this
I
is
don't wanna know.
information.
No, this
Okay.
isn't.
And it's also gathering information,
Right.
which is so important.
Okay.
Because in the end, whatever project is selected, we want the community to own it and know that it's meeting the needs of not only our 9 through 12 students, but really the community as a whole, because this is a building that now operates basically 24/7.
Mhm.
And we'd like it to actually meet the needs more so that it can operate in that way.
Great.
And that's in all areas, academically, co-curricularly, athletically. We want to get all that information.
And this will not be the sole opportunity. As we continue through this process, I don't want people to think, or the community at large to think this is the only time individuals will be able to weigh in, or the community as a whole will be able to weigh in. This is the first of a series. However, being the first, we'd like.
This
to
is a
see
big
more
one,
people.
right?
Yes.
Because we really would like, one of the things where you're always, in this day and age of social media combating is when people only have a little bit of the information or may have almost no information, there's still information that gets out there that may be incorrect. And so this is where people can really learn what is the Mass School Building Authority process? What does it mean to be in it and have a certain amount of assistance? In our case right now, we're at 56% reimbursement, and here's a key word, few words, of eligible costs and what that really means. And then how we go forward. And they'll also present somewhat of aggressive schedule. So people will actually hear what might be our schedule for feasibility study, vote, construction, and end of construction, which is
When
exciting.
would the vote be? Do we know that yet, or is it?
So nothing's set in stone,
Okay,
but the feasibility study is going to take 10 to 12 months. And so that could put us somewhere around November of '23 in terms of a vote, which could fall into a regular voting pattern of
Mhm.
election day.
would they just, if it didn't, would they just do a vote on that?
That'd be up to the town council.
Yeah, town
Okay.
council could call for a special election,
Special, okay.
depending on the time frame of everything.
Well, it's exciting. It's,
It is.
It's so great to see this coming to life, and I think it's so terrific that as the superintendent alongside of the committee and alongside of the builders, really taking on this community approach to what the building can be when we think about the vision, not just a building for our 9th to 12th graders, but a building that can really be shared as a collaborative space, as spaces for our community as a whole, and I think that that's just tremendous because it's more than just the high school. So that's great.
Exciting.
Good.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, well, hopefully we'll see folks out there
Yeah.
In person.
in person, which would be awesome. So, excellent. Thank you, Gordon, for that update. All right. So now we wanted to rediscuss the school committee reorganization date. I think we had some potential conflicts within the committee.
Yeah,
The original date was July 1st, and I think it was it a 9 o'clock meeting, Mrs. Sleddy? I think 9
Yeah,
o'clock.
it was early, it was, if not before that, but okay.
8:30 or 9 o'clock. So,
I'm just not even gonna be in town, and I don't even have, I would say, you know, maybe do it through Zoom, but I don't even know if I'm gonna have Wi-Fi where I am,
Okay.
so.
yeah,
Antarctica, huh?
Back in Maine, it's like way up there.
That's close to Antarctica.
Right?
Pretty much.
That's way up there.
you do not have to reorganize technically until your first meeting
Right.
of the new fiscal year. So whenever that new meeting is, you could have it as part of another meeting if you want. That's just one option.
The charter specifically states first meeting after July 1st. It doesn't say on July 1st. We've always done it on July 1st because it's summer, business still has to be conducted.
So is there a week as we go through that everybody might be in town before even we get to August?
I know I'm not around the following week, like the week leading in, or the week of 4th of July.
I'm around the whole rest of July.
Are folks around the week of July 11th?
Well, you don't have to be here.
What's that?
You don't need to be there.
I technically gotta start the meeting.
Yeah,
No.
he- as chair, well, he is,
Though Pam could do that in my stead.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know you're
gonna be clerk.
Wanna be here.
Mr. Thompson, you don't need to be here. Appreciate that comment.
Well, only because it's a reorg.
We don't need
I
you
know.
here.
Every other meeting, we need you, Gordon, tremendously. We couldn't do without you, I promise.
You don't have to go over the top. As the previous agenda item was my self-evaluation.
Yeah, whoops.
You're talking July 11th, right?
I just put that out
Weekend,
as a
okay.
potential week. I can make myself available most weeks in July. I
Of
just,
course, we don't know the availability of the new person also.
Well, unfortunately, they've kind of just got to fall in line because you guys can't push this off any farther.
yeah.
All right, so it's always
Yeah, I
been
mean,
kind
I'm
of
around
understood.
the week of the 4th if you need me. I'm around the week of the 18th. We did talk about, Mrs. Blair certainly can run the meeting.
Everybody around the week of the 18th?
Um,
Yeah, I'm around.
I'm around.
I'm not going anywhere.
On vacation.
Yeah, we don't need you.
Well, might as well share the wealth
Every
here.
other meeting though, we do.
Yeah, every other meeting.
Yes, that's right.
Do we wanna do it like on, say like the Tuesday so that the warrant, like we're all here for the warrant too? Kind of do a double
Yeah,
duty.
that would help. Good, thank you.
I know, cause.
We always could use signatures on the warrant. That's helpful.
Like the 12th or the 19th, so.
19th, I'm around. 12th, I'm
Greg, what about you?
I'm around. I don't think we should go too far, though,
Yeah.
precedent wise.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Actually, you know what? Let me take that back.
also around the 5th.
I might, well, no, it's a Friday. That's not gonna be,
Get that.
but yeah, no.
No.
All right. I'm good with either the 12th or the 19th. Either one is,
Do we wanna do it sooner with Pam, so it doesn't go too far into July?
I mean, it's a formality with Gordon opening the meeting and then the new chair can take over, so.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it the way it is.
would you like to be here?
No, that's fine. I'm fine with it.
Okay.
I just
You could create a Zoom for God's sakes.
No, I think it's fine with Pam. I'm just giving you a grief.
That's fine.
here?
Yeah, I'm around.
Don, does the 12th work for you? Or no?
No, don't worry, because Jamie can do it.
Okay, all right.
That's not me.
What time on the 12th?
I mean, for me, earlier the better.
For me too.
6:30 in the morning?
We gotta get, what time do you wanna be in?
Would 8 work?
8?
Do you wanna do 8 on the 12th? Or do you have something?
Antonelle's kind of looking kind
Or
of
do you
like,
have,
Because I do have to go into work.
wanna
That's
do
what I'm
earlier?
saying. I can do 7.
I like it, Antonella.
Okay.
6:30 is not bad.
Yeah, you're almost
We'll
there.
do 7:30, just because you have to get here, and Pam has a drive.
Yeah, but I
7:30,
will
okay?
make it work.
So
whatever.
I can do
We technically we can
7:30.
do without Pam, I'm just saying.
How many people are you taking out?
Just-
Somebody has to open the meeting.
Technically, we could do it, Bill, we could do it.
Well,
Let's
yeah,
not be
but
too
I'm just
technical,
saying.
because we want to be fair to the new person joining
Yeah.
as well, so that they get a
Well,
sense
they
of what
can
the
be here as
process,
well.
but what the process typically looks like, so we don't want to throw them for too much.
Okay, here's the box.
7:30 a.m.
Only for normal meeting.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for
Watch
moving
it.
out.
That works for you, Don?
What's that? So.
7:30.
On the
I
12th.
could-
Or I could do like
July 12th?
2 in the afternoon too,
Oh, that's nice too.
if you guys wanted to do that.
Yeah, I'm likely not gonna.
Oh, okay. You have somebody else.
Jamie.
7:30 is just fine for me.
It's only gonna be 10 minutes.
And that's only if you Zoom, right? I mean, you could do it without.
Right, we don't have to,
We're not zooming, there's no need to zoom a reorg.
no,
No,
we
there
don't
is-
have to
there's
do
nobody
that,
trying
unless
to-
you wanted to join, that would be the only
No,
reason we would Zoom.
no, I'm fine.
Okay.
He's on vacation.
And I don't
So it doesn't even
think I
have
can
to be-
record.
I don't think you
No.
recorded last year's either.
No, it wasn't recorded.
Nope.
Yeah, we'll come meet in the driveway.
I'll be
There
here.
you go.
Parking lot.
Donuts and coffee.
All right.
Yeah.
Zoom in so that she doesn't have to drive.
No, I'm fine, I'm fine.
Somebody's gotta run the
So she
ship.
didn't have to leave at like 6,
As
so.
long as 7:30 is great, that's
Yes.
perfect.
All right, perfect. 7:30 on July 12th.
Yeah.
The organization meeting.
Thank
Sounds
you,
good.
everyone, I appreciate you.
Got it up.
You're welcome.
We don't need to vote on that, right? That's just the,
No, we just.
no,
gotta-
we just
No.
gotta post it when it's time. Okay.
Yeah, it just has to be posted.
All right, July 12th, 7:30 a.m. Perfect. All right, so we have a bunch of new business as it pertains to some events, talking about using the high school as a community spot. A lot of these are
Correct.
using the high school as a community spot,
Yeah.
which is great, so.
So we have, in your packet, we have a request from the East Long Meadow Educational Endowment Foundation, and they are running their.
Fun.
I was just wondering how many.
8.
Eighth annual, thank you. Spartan Sprint, and they have selected Sunday, September 25th. Registration is at 8 a.m. and they look to see, hope the event will conclude somewhere around 11:30, but before noon time. And so they're asking to use the track and the space out in the athletic area as they've done in the past. So both it's a vote to allow them to use the space. Also, since it's a Sunday, they're asking for a waiver of our policy regarding events not starting before 1 p.m. This year, I believe we had two events that started prior to where you had a waiver. One was a wrestling tournament inside, and one was the Spartan Sprint.
That was it.
Lacrosse did not,
Yeah.
yeah, lacrosse didn't do it this year.
Cool. I move that we approve the E-Leaf Spartan Sprint 5K Run for Education Sunday, September 25th, 2022, from 8 a.m. through 11:30 a.m. in the requested areas of the high school, and also waive the restriction on Sunday morning activities.
All right, motion made by Greg,
Second.
second by Beth. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. And that motion carries 5-0. Great to see them coming back.
I'm gonna start training so I can repeat my last performance. Well, kind of.
You did. You did a
I
good
was
job.
there.
Happy.
Close.
All right, so now the Rotary Club.
Yes, so there's a letter in your packet from the Rotary Club, Mr. Quimby, who is asking to use the grounds and actually reserve the grounds, a certain area. There's a picture that he provided everyone back behind the high school where they would like from June 28th through July 3rd, when the fireworks presentation takes place, to use that area of the high school grounds. July 3rd, obviously that would expand to the parking lot and so forth for the full grounds. But June 28th through July 3rd would be set up and fencing and preparing for the fireworks. They are also asking, as they've done in the past, to put banners up on our fencing from Basically, I think just the night of July 3rd, but it may go up just earlier than the fireworks presentation, so that it's up through the concert before and then into the fireworks, and then they'd be taken down no later than July 5th.
Why the 28th board? That seems like a long time. We're gonna have that whole thing fenced off that long?
It gives them time to both get I believe the fire marshal usually comes out to inspect the area and get the fencing up. But to your point, even though they generally give themselves more time, they probably won't start fencing until maybe the 29th or 30th. So they don't block it off.
I know the weekend.
I think the weekend plays into it, unfortunately.
All right.
Move to approve the Rotary Club Foundation request for use of ELHS grounds for Independence Day firework display from June 28th, 2022 through June 3rd, 2022, and to waive the policy and allow them to put banners around the tennis court for their sponsors. Through July 5th.
Motion made by Bill. Second. Second by Antonella. Any further discussion?
They're only gonna be up the 3rd to the 5th, though, right?
Right.
Signs.
Yes,
Through the 5th, yep.
Fifth, the latest.
Right, yep.
And
that was actually the next.
I actually combined both.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Okay. Is that
I think it's okay because actually in your packets, it's all one letter.
perfect?
Yeah.
Okay. Second by Greg. No, second by
Second.
Antonella, seconded.
Yeah.
That was
Try
any
to
further
steal my
discussion.
3rd.
Yeah, okay.
Only 6:43.
Yeah.
Now we need to get punchy. All right, motion made by Bill, second by Antonella. Any additional discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay? All right, and that motion carries 5-0. That'll be great to see ground crews for that festive.
Hopefully it's not raining the night before like it was last year.
Very true. All
It poured
right, so
and
the
they still
next,
set them off.
so the next one is about the concert series?
Yes, so this next letter is coming again from the Rotary Club, Mr. Quimby. And it's asking to use the grounds on the specific dates for the concert series, but also offers rain dates for the different concerts. And again, gives you an aerial picture of where they would set up the band shell as they've done in years past, as well as a concession stand utilizing those specific dates in the chart.
Right.
I move we approve the Rotary Summer Concert Series with the dates listed out on the May 20th, 2022 letter from Mr. Quimby as presented.
Motion made by Greg,
Second.
second by Beth. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay? And that motion carries 5-0. And finally, we have the 3-year contract between the Superintendent and Secretary Association.
Move to approve the new 3-year contract between the East Long Meadow School Committee and the Secretaries Association as presented.
Motion made by Bill. Second. Second by Antonella. Any further discussion? Bill, you were the lead on that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for negotiating with the secretaries.
It's an enjoyable group to work with, believe me. Been a pleasure.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay?
I'm gonna abstain.
And one abstention, so that motion carries 4-0 with one abstention from. All right, I think that is it for tonight. So with that, I will entertain, thank you, Mr. Mackey, thank you, Kathy, and no Nick tonight, but we wish him well as always.
He's now a graduate.
He's now a graduate. Right, with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion made by Bill. Second by Beth. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. That motion carries 5-0. Thank you, everyone. Good night.